Hey guys, you're watching Boondocking with Dennis. Me and the goat made it back to Rockport. Looks like it's market days this weekend. I think that's what's going on. Wow, is it the third weekend of the month already? Time flies when you're having fun. If you can't tell by the long shadows, we're about 45 minutes before sunset. I thought I'd head up to the beach and see what kind of sunset we're going to get today. I don't see a whole lot of clouds in the sky right now, and that's kind of what you need to get a pretty sunset. But I guess an average Texas sunset is better than no sunset at all. We'll go with that. Not much traffic this time of day. I am getting up here late in the day. I love the end of summer when things kind of wind down and it's less people. We still have a couple weekends away from the Sea Fair, which is probably the biggest event they have here. Music and food and big tents, and most of the time they have some type of carnival rides. I know one year they didn't, and one year they cut it back, but I haven't really checked to see what's going on this year. Looks like we got a little bit of a hold up. Someone up there is negotiating the price. You know what it's a good time for?
I used to work in a shoe recycling shop. It was soul destroying.
Not bad. Not bad. Pretty good. Ready?
A husband raced into his house. "I found a great job," he exclaimed to his wife. "The pay is incredible. They offer free medical insurance and give 3 weeks vacation." "That does sound wonderful," said the wife. "I'm glad you think so," replied her husband. "You start tomorrow."
Yeah. Little sexist with that one. Hello, pretty lady. I think I'm going to swing up and check on the dolphin situation and then come back. Maybe go over to the Circle, see what kind of sunset we get. Need to check on, see if Eugene's going to show up today. He might be mad at me. I haven't been up here in a while. I was talking to my friend Bob, and Bob's around my age, but still is reliving the glory days. Right around, I want to say 1980. I've talked about ice hockey. I've talked about martial arts and other sports that I played. In the off season, we would play deck hockey, and deck hockey was basically street hockey, but it was in a rink, an outdoor rink, and there was this special plastic flooring that almost looked like, I don't know, a waffle, but it allowed you to get traction, and a ball would roll on it smooth. We played deck hockey with a ball, street hockey ball, orange or pink, depending on the weather. If it was, I think if it was really cold, you wanted the pink ball. Yeah, I think that was it. I stopped playing when I was, I think, 28, where my knees just said that's enough of that. I started playing in the 10 to 12 league when I was 10, and at various times, there were certain times where I played in 4 different leagues. When I was 13, I was playing in the 21 and over league. And the big thing about deck hockey was once a year in Leominster, Massachusetts, they would have the United States Deck Hockey Championships. And I never went with my team. We had a bunch of broke guys, including me. But since I was good, often another team going up there would grab me and maybe one or two of my friends, sometimes just me. And I got to go up there, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, which was a big thing to, leave Philadelphia and go all the way up to Massachusetts. Now it just seems like it's a ride up the road. Since I moved, like when I'm in Philadelphia, driving to Maine, where my dad lived, was 10 hours away. That was like a world away. You just didn't get in a car and do it. I did do it once when I was 22. But down here in Texas, you can ride. You can go for a 10-hour ride and you're still in Texas. It's just matter of fact, when you're down here and like someone says, "How far are you away from Dallas?" You don't say 300 miles. You say 7 hours. Like everything's by how long it takes to get there. But I went up to Leominster in 1980 with the Glen Olden Griffins, and I was 16, playing in the 16 to 19 age group, and we won a national championship. I finished I finished 4th on my team in scoring, which is pretty impressive for a 16-year-old, playing with 19-year-olds. And it's not just like a local league, it's basically the best in the country. And I was on a line, my center won MVP of the tournament, and basically I didn't get a pass the whole time I was up in Leominster. I scored 4 goals on rebounds and wraparounds and wrist shots, but I was not set up for 1 goal. I think I had 3 goals and 6 assists in 4 games up there, and we won all 4 games. National championship. There's a newsletter somewhere on my Facebook page that shows our winning team, and the team that we played for the championship was so favored that it was just like their team photo was like a 20-minute professional photo shoot, and our team photo was line up, click, thanks, and we're done. And we wound up beating them 2-1 in the championship game. That was such a big deal at the time. And my friend Bob was like talking about a national championship. But also, to me, that was just deck hockey. It wasn't ice hockey. You know what I mean? It wasn't. They actually have a Deck Hockey Hall of Fame, and they contacted me years ago about being inducted to it and coming. I had to go to Massachusetts, and I'm in Texas, and basically I think the awards dinner is like you have to bring enough people to buy a table, so if like you sell enough tickets you get into the Hall of Fame. That's what I got out of it. And I told them this was a game I played as a child, and I told them I couldn't make the event because I was being inducted into the Kick the Can Hall of Fame on the same evening. Didn't go over too popular. I think they blocked me from their Facebook page after that. But I had a great time playing deck hockey. I have a lot of good memories. Bench clearing brawls, and I invented the move. If you got in a fight, you were out of the game in deck hockey. And I invented the move of when someone's throwing punches at you, instead of punching them back and getting thrown out of the game, I would pick them up and put them over the boards. So that was my contribution to deck hockey. It was a good time while it lasted. Let's go see if we can find Eugene. So they are setting up for the bonfire. That's what they got done so far. That's pretty impressive. And then they'll decorate all four sides. Each grade will do it. Well, that didn't take long at all. Good evening, Eugene. Eugene is a great blue heron. Eugenus maximus. Scientific Ardea herodosus. That is the largest heron in North America. Tall, slate blue, a wading bird, freshwater, saltwater, but he don't care as long as he's around water and food. They love to live near wetlands. They are very adaptable, patient. They will wait for a fisherman to give them a fish for hours. They eat fish, amphibians, small mammals, just about anything they can get their beaks on. If it'll fit down their throat, they will eat it. They are even known to eat other birds when times get rough. Wingspan is about 6 to 7 feet, depending on the size of the bird. He's got that long pointed yellow bill, slender neck that folds up. When it's cold out, he will fold that neck all the way in. It's a beautiful bird. Found throughout North America. Pretty cool. Well, we got a strikeout on the dolphins. We did have a Eugene sighting. We got a boring story about me playing deck hockey. Here's the sunset. 7:31 p.m. And it's time for the sun to set. It would be nice if we had some clouds in the sky so we could get the pinks and the blues, but it is what it is. Still pretty. Only one other car down here, huh? I don't understand why this whole area isn't filled like every night. I remember when I would have the kids, I'd be like, who wants to go see the sunset? And they all would want to go see the sunset because they knew we were going to stop for ice cream at some point. Somehow the sunsets wound up getting very expensive for me. There was one point where I figured out, when I first came down here and started working for the family business, that after I paid for gas, I was making about $2 an hour. By the end, I made very good money. No complaints there. I love when we get this golden line on the water. We're looking at Little Bay right now. We're still at the circle. I just zoomed in a little bit. I don't even see, usually there's a few boats in the water that have come to see the sunset. I did notice leaving the apartment, if you wait until the nighttime, about an hour before sunset, it is much, much cooler than coming out at midday. Even though today I spent running around making videos in Port Aransas. We need rain, folks. We are still in a severe drought. Our reservoirs are extremely low. I know some areas are talking about drilling into the aquifer to get water. And Corpus Christi is starting plans for a desalination plant, taking the salt water and turning it into fresh water. And there's a big controversy about that, where they're going to build it, and apparently it screws up fishing. I guess there's a byproduct. Maybe putting the salt back in the water. I don't know how it works. Now I need to Google that and read up on it. I know you wind up with clean drinking water, but what about that would damage the fishing? Does the salt go back into the water, making it hypersaline? I don't know. I need to educate myself. I'm reading a short Stephen King book called The Life of Chuck. And I think I either read it before, or maybe I saw the movie version on TV. Because everything's just way too familiar. There goes the sun, guys. Our little orange glow on the water is gone. And there she goes, behind the buildings. No spectacular colors this evening. I always hang around, sometimes about a half hour after sunset. You'll just get colors. And if that happens, I'll be back with the video, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. We're getting a little bit of glow in the distance, but nothing spectacular. And that's okay. This is just your average sunset. I'll give it a C. I do really want to see the movie The Long Walk. That's based on one of my favorite Stephen King stories. And for about 40 years, I've been saying that's the one they'll never make into a movie. And of course, they made it into a movie. And I think it actually got a pretty good rating. I want to see The Long Walk. I want to see one called, is it Monsters? It's a kind of a horror movie that's rated really high. I have them saved in my phone, but since they're both at the movies, to buy them now, they're $24.99, which I think I could go to the movies for $5 in Portland and see it, but I'll just wait a month or two and it'll be a much cheaper price. Well, guys, that's my rambles for the day. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for sharing the sunset. Thanks for riding along today. Thanks for watching.